Welcome, Maya and Elisa, to a very special, short little episode for the Vitality podcast and for TIFA's network in public. And whoever is watching that is needing to be here in this moment and listening to this, they will be here. And it's a real pleasure to be talking to you both. It's been on the cards for a while, my fellow TIFA graduates. Um, yeah, I'm jumping into this episode really just curious because I know whoever's listening on some level is here to listen to a little bit of your journey, which I'm sure has been intense and magical and very deep. And I'm curious, maybe first as a question, what's been alive for you these past uh, couple of years through this journey with the Institute for Aliveness and your own very personal awakening journeys, you know?
Thank you, Nikki. Um, wow, what a question. What's alive in you? What was alive in you these past 2 years? So much. There's so many things that we have touched and have touched my life in this past years, and TIFA was like a mind opener. It was the opportunity to really be held accountable by a group of like-minded, uh, strong, incredible people. And so for me, I want to say the first part of TIFA was especially learning and studying and trying to practice the things. So it was first with eating, then maybe more yoga, movement, like all the things that are in TIFA curriculum that are amazing. And then you get to the spiritual, and there's layers and layers, exactly like in the spiral theory, like going up. So like these, for example, 3 months for me, like it was about like traveling and meeting specifically TIFA people, which was not even intended on honestly, like and it happened so organically, and like meeting, spending time, getting to spend time with people from TIFA like makes me so feeling so blessed about the community that we are creating. And again, the network of like people that keep you accountable and push you higher and higher, and just with their experience and their lives, like they are uh, an example for me of where I want to go. So it's like a constant inspiration. So like short answer to the question, what it's been alive in you in the past 2 years, constant inspiration.
Thank you, Elisa. Wow. Yeah, that's a big question. Yeah, for me, I feel like I came into TIFA um, because I was already like a master's therapist, and I was stuck with my patient because I could feel that through the body that I was manipulating, there was a huge level of anxiety that creating a lot of stress in the body and chronic disease. And so I was stuck for months where I was giving massage and people were talking to me like if I were their shrink, you know. So I entered TIFA because I wanted to know everything. I wanted to know the connection between the body, the mind, and the spirit. I wanted to understand how, like, the molecular level, and so for me, it was just like doing this school. I'm gonna understand everything, and I be able to save everybody. That's and so now after that, I've learned that. like more and more you seek for something, more you unpeel yourself, and you get vulnerable, and you're touching like humility, and the magic is there, you know, like you need to go so far in the research, in the pressure cooker that the TIFA container is, because it is. And it's just for you to blossom in your vulnerability. And the beauty of the coaching that we've learned and now we're offering, and the reason why we wanted to offer it with Elisa within the TIFA network, it's because it's a way of, you know, allowing the vulnerability, so much so for ourselves, then it's the magic path for the others. And for me, like doing this with Elisa in the TIFA container now, um, as a result of all the training that we've done and all the experiences, like physical, spiritual, and psychic, that we did together, is a sense of, in this community, we recognize that the vulnerability and the rawness is where everything happened. And even though it sounds like I'm sure and I learned it, I'm still learning it every day. You know? And that's the beauty of it also. It's just like we'll always be students in TIFA. Even though we're graduated, even though there is teachers, we're all in this. We're like, okay, we're still going through our journey together.
Beautiful, Maya. I think you touched on something. Well, Elisa, you touched on a constant sense of inspiration. And Maya, you so beautifully brought in this sense of this eternal learning and the very raw vulnerability that we can drop into in this container, right? And it's it's for me beautiful to hear that, because it's I think something really special about what this work we've been doing together for 2 years has been, whether it's the accountability you've spoken to, Elisa, or just this embodiment journey that is never complete. There comes a time when I think we learned that very quickly last year, is there comes a time when it needs to start being offered into the world, you know, whether we feel ready or not, whether we feel like we've reached a point where it's like, yes, now I'm enlightened and I'm ready to offer this to the world. There is no point like that. There is that sense of something in me has shifted. This thing of, I've been a therapist for many years, but maybe I haven't been in my body as I've been offering it to the people who come to me, who, you know, in that moment it was exactly what they needed, what I needed, perfect, you know. And yet there is a point now where there is a connection, a sense of knowing that only comes through an experience of unflinchingly looking at what's there, right? And for me, Maya, you always represent that fire of like, I want to go deep, I want to go there, and I will go there like this arrow that has to see it. And there's such a courage that comes from that, and I'm so curious to see how it will be moving forward in offering this space to those who feel called to reach out to you. And then when I look at you, Elisa, it's like, oh, there's a completely different energy that's there waiting to be offered. This sort of this gentle, like this presence that's just like somehow all welcoming. Like everything's okay. It's just there's this leaning into a kindness that cannot be taught. You know, it's something that comes from just an ease in how one moves in the world. And I think all of our gifts come with their shadows, right? The fire
Yeah.
comes with its shadow, the kindness and the gentleness comes with its shadow. And yet we bring to each other what we need in any moment in time. And yeah, I'm curious, what is it that inspired you both to want to offer this coaching, and what's somehow the ethics behind it? Why in TIFA? Why not just going out by yourself and doing your own, which I'm sure you do as well, but somehow it brought you into TIFA to do it through this container, where you don't have a brand, your own brand. You're doing it through
Yeah.
something that's
I,
larger than yourself.
is it okay, Lisa, if I begin and then yeah? So first we have to say like it was a very pragmatical idea connected to what we're going through with the TIFA DAO building. So for the people who are listening the podcast, they know. For those who just discovered today, we are going through this amazing experience of creating a DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization, which is another way to run a community or whether a business. And so like for the sake of going forward into the building of this community and business, there was a sense of, okay, what is it that we know to do and that we can put it in common so we can go through all the questions that we can have if we partnership into a project. So because Elisa was at my place in Costa Rica for a month and a half, and we were like jamming around this DAO thing, and we were just like, okay, we need a concrete object where we can see all the question that we have to solve in the creation of a partnership. So that was the first reason. And then also it's because like I don't know for you, Elisa, but for me personally, like the people in my community in Costa Rica that come to receive a coaching, or the people who was in Senegal where I used to live before in French, like they come with a sense of I want to be saved, actually. So they're expecting me to offer coaching that's gonna resolve everything. Like I have a chronic disease like SIBO, and I want you to save me, right? And so actually I do give advices on body, mind, spirit, and everything, but it always comes with a moment where the people are into, okay, like what you asked me is very difficult because it goes to my patterns, it goes to my rawness, it goes to my vulnerability, and I'm not sure I'm ready to do that. So for me, there is a sense of, okay, I gotta wait for them to be ready, and maybe and they do. They come back maybe 2 3 months. They come back and say like, oh, you were right. Now I'm ready. But doing it under the TIFA umbrella is knowing that the people that are going to come to us, they already have a sense of this because maybe they've heard our podcast, maybe they've written our articles, maybe they've been following Andy for a long time. So they know what they are, they can expect, which is for me, not the first level of beginning to heal yourself, but the level after when you realize that you're responsible for your own healing and you're not expecting your coach to be saving your life or changing your habits for you or being like have you done your homework, like send me a message if you have drink like 3 liters of water every day. No, it's more like I can tell you if you drink 3 liters of water every day, you're going to feel better. Experience and do it. If you don't, well, I cannot help you. So there is a sense for me like this is why it makes sense to do it in the TIFA container, because also it gives me the strength to have my fellows around me and to say like, yeah, no, it's okay. You're on the right path. You can go through this way. It's okay because this is the way we grew together in TIFA container.
Yeah, I feel that like the last things that that Maya was saying are particularly true for me also. First of all, we were together, and as she said, we were jamming on the idea, and this came out yeah, so organically and so spontaneously, and it was like kind of natural. And second, we grew together in this way in the past years. With the coaching, with the embodying of all different practices, and each one of us, it's different. We have studied the same things, but the way we embody the things, it's so completely different. And for me, it was especially true this year, like meeting some of the TIFA graduate, how we do the same but in our own way, and this, it's going to be mirrored in the way we work with people. And for me, it's just mind blowing. It's just beautiful because, like, the principles are the same, the knowledge is the same, but then everybody has its own style. And as you were, Nikki, saying, its own energy. Like Maya is more fiery, I'm more, like probably calm. And everybody has its own, like, really vibe that brings it to the table. And it felt so right just to do it like under the TIFA umbrella, because that's where all of this was born. And it's a way to give back to the TIFA community and the TIFA followers, and to keep in touch like with one another, and to cooperate, and to keep creating community and network amongst us. So there's just win, 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 win in this idea. And when it popped out, it was like, hell yeah, you know. So,
Beautiful.
Yeah, and maybe also what I would like to add is there is a time zone story. Like for people who listen to us, like we are spread all over the world. So there was this idea also that if we have an umbrella with all different coach from TIFA, it means that you can choose like a TIFA coach, uh, depending where you are when it feels right for you, and makes sense, like because you want to be in the good condition for you, and you still want to have this flair of TIFA coach. So, and there is a part of a magic as well in putting all those pictures. I hope like soon other people from TIFA, when they feel it's the right moment for them, they're going to join us. And there is a magic as well to creating this like boxes and see, it could be Cheerio in a East Europe, or it can be you, Nikki, in India, or and um, and as you said, like the principles are the same, but not only the energy is different, but also the topics. Like I'm a 41 mom, uh, with my husband. Like we've been together for 23 years now. So I've been working a lot on this topic, right? Which is probably not the same topic that you've been working, Elisa, in your life, even though like Tantra was also a big topic for you. But I mean, so we have our specialities as well, like, and it also depends a lot about our astro. So this is for me, it's a rainbow, like a potential future rainbow of humanity, and all of a sudden it's all us. But we are one in the coaching, right? And we are individuals, but in the one. And yeah, for me, this is the beauty of it. And I'm very excited to do that with you, Elisa.
You guys, you're
yay.
inspiring me to jump on this bandwagon. I think I'm gonna send you guys the profile. I want to do it too. Well, I think
Right?
part of what's really inspiring about this is, now we have the Writers' Circle every month. We have things that are coming up, whether it's the course that will be launched in the next year. We have the, other short courses in the pipeline that might be coming up soon. Like there's somehow it feels to me so beautiful that you both felt inspired to do this, because there's so many ways we can I think part of this calling is that, like, I feel it more and more in myself, like, oh, there's something here that wants to be shared with the world. And it's important because I think as humanity is on this evolutionary journey, that we create a field around us, right? And the more we deepen into this, this is the field that we bring in to wherever we go. Increasingly, like I remember a friend of mine visiting who's been like deep in her sort of a journey in the transpersonal into giving into the world, and at some point she was just there in the house, you know, and for her it's this sense of kindness that she brings into the world. And my mother, who's normally so tense and so like anxious all the time and kind of very like, you know, closed and not wanting to give, all of a sudden was just like offering this and offering that and like opening, her body opened, you know. And I remember just observing this and going, that's what happens as this ongoing ever, you know, this awakening, whatever we want to call it, this um, shedding journey continues, is that we start creating these fields around us that, whether we realize it or not, um, somehow deeply impact the people around us, you know? And with this friend of mine, it was this sense of like ease and calm and this opening of like, my mother found her kindness, which has always been there, you know? But somehow through this person being around her, suddenly it was like she could touch and share that aspect of herself that is hidden, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
that's for me this beauty of, you know, we have so many different pathways now in TIFA where I think more and more we feel called, at least I know for myself, I feel called to like, I want to give it to the world, you know. And sometimes there's an economy behind that, and other times there isn't, you know, and that's part of the exploration too.
Yeah.
But I think the specialness of the coaching part especially is that this is the such a precious time to share with another being, you know. And it's not that sense of I'm coming in to save you, like you so beautifully pointed out, Maya.
Mm.
It is that sense of like, I am here with you in this moment, exactly where you are, exactly where I am. And something in this space we create together is exactly what's needed in this moment, right? Whether it's a deep shedding, an emotional shedding, or sometimes it's like a lunning into the body, and other times it's a key discovery of like, oh, this food I've been eating, or, you know, this movement I've been missing, whatever it is on so many levels. um, we create fields, and I think that's the precious gift that TIFA's had to offer, is that deepening of the field we can create, um, as we've been on this journey together. And I'm so um, incredibly, yeah, so curious how, you know, this will go for you both. um, I'm curious, first of all, if there's any reflections from what I've said, but I also want to talk to you both about the economy part of it, because that's also there, you know.
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
So what you said was also to create a ripple effect in the people that are around, and possibly that are not like physically around, but that we kind of, and this, I feel this very strongly in these days, especially. So like it feels very synchronistic that you bring this up in this very way. Um, that's something that is showing very, very strongly in my life right now. And I guess it's very important. It's like, yeah, to have in mind and in heart um, the mission in a way, or, you know, like just the intention to share good things, to share the good of life, to, you know, like, and this is also at the very basis of the project, you know, like as you said, I'm not here to save anybody, like I'm working on myself constantly, and if there's someone that is doing the same and that wants to be here with me, I can be here with this person. So I'm here with you, I'm here for you, and I'm not gonna save anybody. So, and it's just like giving back and creating a ripple effect that can multiply over and over and over. And that's also part of the economy that we have been, you know, like jamming and brainstorming so much on. And for me and Maya, it was important, and also for other members, we have been like brainstorming with how can it be more inclusive? How can we create something that we all resonate with within the TIFA movement? So it's like, and still it can be something to support us, but also to support the people that are receiving, and then to support the movement in turns. So yeah, when you create something that doesn't exist yet, it's very exciting and it's very challenging, both, like in the same intensity. And so yeah, I feel that we are in this excitement, and like everything, like inside the moment, it's like, this is challenging. How do we make it more like this or more like this? I don't feel that this is, like ethically aligned with what I feel or what. And so it just has been a wild ride, and like basically it's just started. So it's like, yeah, as you said, I'm like, I don't know, I'm super curious to see what can sprout from here, really.
Yes, because there is a sense of like for us, because we are spread all around the world, um, for sure 1 hour of coaching in India is not the same that 1 hour in coaching in the US. And we agree that we all of us have a collective value in the TIFA, but like we all live in different places, you know? And so we want to be able to touch anybody from anywhere in the world and any kind of social economic situation. So we've been actually like, jamming around wanting to have like a sliding scale for our clients, but we also need to have a sliding scale for our coaches. And how is it possible, like to communicate that on the marketing aspect, right? So that's why the DAO is like, this is where we are experimenting the DAO perception. Um, and um, and yeah, and so it made us like reflect a lot about the value of our job and how you make it happen that people feel safe to be saying like, um, I want to participate, but I have a very low um, rate to offer. And in the same time, you know, being able to say like, yeah, but I need more to be able to work because I'm on the other side of the world, and my family need that. And what is it okay for me to concede to conceive, and what it's not okay? How is it, if I do that in a community of coaches, like if I decide to make it for $5 because it's what someone in Kashmir can pay, what does it mean for the community, right? So we are like, this is the economic aspect, and the beauty of this is just like we're trying to square it for the sake of the payment and the rules in the DAO and everything. And at the end of the story, the answer is like always in TIFA. It's just like, just be, and you'll know, like you'll see on time what's going on, and so it's this constant back and forth with like stepping in the unknown, but needing first to know how much unknown is it, and also how it will be perceived by the exterior. Like, what does it mean if I say like, yeah, I can coach for $20? Like maybe for someone in the US, it would be like, this is not, that shouldn't be a good one, like, or so. Yeah, it's for us. Um, when you finish TIFA, you're okay with being a coach, but now we need to learn how to be entrepreneurs, and more than that, like worldwide entrepreneurs. Even though I've done that my entire life, but doing it in community, for me, it's pretty challenging. And yeah, um, yeah. Like, to come back to what you said, Nikki, first, talking about your friend that just be it's the it's the taste of our coaching. Like, just be, and be brave enough to go through it, whatever it is, like coaching someone, entrepreneur aspect, marketing or whatever. It's just like go through it and the blossom will come.
Yeah, thank you both so much. It's I think what you tap into in this, it's always uncomfortable, isn't it? Speaking about economy and money, and I think it's brave to bring it up very honestly, very uncomfortably, very, and yet to say that is also part of it, and yet underneath it, and I think where both of you are really coming from, and I think for sure what we're embodying in TIFA and the DAO is really what is truly in the field that we're tapping into, that we are part of in this evolutionary journey, and how can we contribute to the world. And part of this is trusting in this very physical dual world where we do have to live and pay for the food or whatever it is. That's part of it too. And yet what is it that's really driving this? I think unlike in the world, in many of the spaces we see, where whether consciously or unconsciously there's something under that need to fill some empty space or whatever it is that's 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 coming in, and usually it's unconscious, and God knows there's a lot of unconscious stuff still within me and us too. But I think what we're trying to do is really do what we've been doing the past at least 2 years or more in many of our cases, of just like go with the arrow and trust that in speaking into whatever is alive and real, and bringing those secret parts of ourselves to such gentle light in the world, um, that offering, that space that we can create is of value, of real value, in not for a personal journey but for humanity itself. And that's underneath it, that's the driving force. And I'm so grateful that the world gets to hear both your voices, and also have your time be be valued as well. And like you say, coming into it from a space of experimentation and a constant recalibration of what feels aligned. And so, yeah, I think if there's any last words for you both, I would love to hear from you before, yeah, we see before we
Yeah, I
round
just
off.
wanted to say that for me, like every time that someone connects, I connect with someone or someone connects with me through these tools that we've been implementing through TIFA and also in our personal life, there's such uh, there's such a huge learning and a huge inspiration that I get from people, that there's also this part of selfishness, like in this work, because the more people that I connect with, the more I will learn and my heart will open. And yeah, it's such a humbling and beautiful and yeah, something that really makes me feel blessed when I can connect with people on this level and through these tools. And so yeah, like it's again, inspiring is the word for today. Something that brings up like light and inspiration.
I cannot believe you say that because it was exactly what I was about to say. And yeah,
I read
it's
your mind, I read your mind.
yeah, I see that. I see that. And for me, like what I was about to share is this experience. Like once Andy, so our teacher, she told us, you'll see when you coach people that comes to you, they come always at the right moment in the synchronicity of what you have to live. And this is the magic of it. Like it's so interesting to see that the people come, they come with their issue they want to share. And it's just such a mirror of what I am getting through in my life. And I'm just like, oh gosh, how is it possible? Like the universe is sending me this person from anywhere on earth just to just like pocket. And I'm just like, whoa. So yeah, this is that, like, what I would like to express as well for the people who may want to try, because we can do a free trial for 30 minutes, so you can just have a sense of it. Yeah, we work on the body, mind, spirit, and for sure some we can work on the chronic disease or like on like childhood patterns. But what I've seen with the people I've been coaching since I finished TIFA is like the magic happen, like literally on the spiritual level. Like there is something that for me is kind of the part of God, you know, like we are here cooking, doing the coaching and like unpacking things back and forth, mirroring, like crying, like that's like new techniques all the time and everything. And all of a sudden something's blossoming from nowhere. And it's just like it's like of there is a sense of magic. And that's why I love this technique that we learned in TIFA, which was for me very different from the Lacanian and Freudian technique that I've learned before. So I'm very grateful for TIFA for just like opening our hearts and eyes to the part of the magic, the part of God that happens when we decide to heal. That's beautiful.
Thank you both for the blessings of your time. And
Thank you.
yeah, I'm excited to put this out and to also yeah, be part of this movement that you both have kind of pioneered now. And I will put also the links to the coaching page for anybody that's interested, and let's take it from there.
Thank you, Nikki.
Ciao.
Thank you, Maya, my love. Ciao.
Ciao.